Alright, good morning traders. Hey, this is Big Al and this is how I trade, and it is Friday morning at 8:45, about about 45 minutes before the market opens, and it is Friday, July the 8th, 2011, and I'm going to do a setup for the day, and it'll be kind of interesting trading today after the unemployment news and payroll stuff this morning. The market tanked off in the E-mini Dow by about 70 points. So it looks like now it's even 105 points down. So we're going to do a quick setup, and remember, this is Big Al and this is how I trade. What we're looking at here, I got a 15-minute chart up, and I'm showing the last 10 days. This small little section right here represents Monday, and of course that was the 4th of July and we were on vacation. The big thick green bar down here represents the low of the past 10 days. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, click on this, and delete all my drawings for here and start all over. Okay, I'm going to reach down here and grab a price level tool. I'm going to come down here and double click, and then I'm going to edit. I'm going to make this a green bar. I'm going to make it as thick as I can, because that's going to show me the low for the past 10 days. Now I'm actually going to come up here, since the market has been steadily going straight up in this for the last 10 days. I'm going to come in here, and now I can make it for either, if I make it for the day session, or I'm going to make it for the overnight session. So the high in our last 10-day period is here in the overnight session, and I'm going to make that a red, the thickest bar that I can red. Red, of course, is simply indicating resistance, and green indicates support. So now I want to come back, and I'm going to bring this back just a little bit, and I want to look in through here and see if I can find a couple of areas in here which indicate long-term support, or at least when I say long-term, I mean within the last 10 days. And if we look here, we had a support here, and we came up again and found a little more support, another layer of support, but here's our longest layer of support. We basically got overnight, holiday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and before the market bunched up on Thursday. So let's go right here, bring this up, and I'm going to make this a green line for support. I'm going to leave it at 3, but I'm going to make it a slotted or dotted or whatever you want to call it line. This will indicate where traders have come before. And I made a previous post on Big Mike's forum that showed how the market came through on Wednesday, had set up and kept touching this particular area of support. Now I'm going to highlight and come zooming right in, and I want to create a thin green line for yesterday's low. And I want to make a thin red line, and again, you can use any color that you want. It's just we got to have some way to be able to determine this, and it's always generally best if you'll use red for the highs to indicate possible resistance, and green for the lows to indicate possible support. All right. So now I'm going to come in here, and here is Friday's overnight session. And I'm going to do this a little different because of the spike down this morning. Here is after the news. I'm just going to use a medium bar, gray bar. Now, in the past 10 days, our high has been getting higher every overnight session, and then every day, some emotionally in some of the day sessions. So the market keeps keeps trading up higher. So all of a sudden, when we got bad news, we literally came in here at 12,722, and we're down here at 12,574, which is 107 points off the yesterday's close. And okay, now I'm going to go back here. So this is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. I'm going to take Monday's overnight session, and I'm going to draw this as my weekly bar. I'm just redrawing all this. Normally I would leave the weekly bar alone, but I'm drawing this again so everybody gets a clear understanding of how I'm drawing. And again, what we're looking for is, I'm wondering if in here with the overnight bad news is the weekly open going to act as support. I'm going to come back and I'm going to create a, right here for the overnight session, I'm going to create an overnight open bar. Where is the market trading in relationship to the overnight open bar? And if we look at it from right here, everything was going sideways. We probably would have had a nice up day again today, or at least another sideways day before this thing kicks out either direction. But once the news came in and hit, it just simply collapsed. And I know Asia actually had a fairly high overnight session, so the unemployment news this morning actually moved the market much further down. And we got all this nice little consolidation in here. I could easily come in here and again draw a very good support line. And I'm simply going to make it a dotted or slotted line. And this right here would have been a great support line if it had not been for the news spiking everything down lower. So let me take another longer term look here. We'll just go look out. I've got my weekly bar in white. I have the green, thick green bar for the low for the last 10 days. I have a thick red bar for the high of the last 10 days. I also have, I don't know why I did that. Let me correct this. I've got the high of Thursday's high as a red bar now. So now at some point in here, I'll actually draw the yellow bar for the opening of the day session. So what I'm looking for here is, what is the reaction going to be with traders in here? And if this is the weekly open, I can also come down here and take a look at 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Monday, is the holiday. Is that this particular support line in here is actually represents the low of the week. So not only do we want to see what's going to happen here, the reaction at the weekly open, but let's see what the reaction is going to be at this major support line for the weekly low. And we don't know. Let's just find out what traders are going to do. Hopefully that we can figure out what they want to do by the patterns they create on these charts. And that's one other thing. All right, now I want to go back to my actually trading 512 ticks. You see I still got this. I want to look at again yesterday's area, and yesterday's low created a, find an area in here again, and I'm actually going to use this. And the reason I am, and I'll explain it as soon as I get it drawn here, this showed a small amount of resistance, but it showed a real strong support here. And then what I noticed just as I was drawing this is it showed another area of support here in the overnight session that we got a big hammer down, and this would have been a good entry if you were trading the overnight session. But since we've got the news and we got this big spike down, these lines become important to see if they now turn into resistance. So if we can get some support through here, if it comes down there and hits the open and starts to trade back up, how is the market going to react? How are the traders going to react when price comes back up here to these support levels that were previous support, generally acts as as current resistance? So we have no way of knowing. We simply put up our money and take our chances. But if we take the opportunity to break down these support and resistance areas based on the weekly, the 10-day high, the 10-day low, the previous day's high, and the previous day's low, it gives us a really good shot of being able to make higher percentage trades. And of course, I'm working off the candlestick patterns itself. This right here yesterday was a great little candlestick pattern right there of coming in and making my initial trade for yesterday. I only made one trade yesterday, but it worked out, and that was a good thing. Every once in a while I get lucky. Alright, so that's my initial setup. Let me see if I can go ahead and get this posted up to Big Mike's. And remember, this is Big Al, and this is how I trade, and I hope this helps. Please leave me any email messages. I'll be glad to help you as much as I can. Thanks. Good trading today. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.